To practice medicine today, you must do it the modern way. It seems a thing to do to specialize. But words of wisdom, I am told, say all that glitters is not gold. To choose a specialty may not be wise. Now take the internist, the learned, there is no pebble left, and doctors make some raw. But when they're called an internist, the patients shake their heads and fists. They want no students treating ma or pa. The pediatrician has no life, he hardly ever sees his wife. He's on the phone what seems like 50 years. The kids can't tell him where they hurt, but they can vomit on his shirt, and moisture on his trousers is not tears. The radiologist has to wear a suit of armor and take care to keep away from rays they hold so dear. But it has oft occurred to me they protect the wrong anatomy. An apron won't prevent a callous rear. Now OBGYN to me is not the proper specialty. They lose much sleep, their life is not their own. Their patients hate the sight of blood if in between or when they flood, and when they miss they get the old hormone. The carpenter or orthopod transplants a rib just like a god. It makes me sick to see him set a bone. With tools and plaster on each job, he's rough as the proverbial cob, but he's the man to see when you need a loan. Now I detest psychiatry, I'm so afraid it applies to me. I think their whole damn specialty's perplexed. They ask you of your childhood woes, they hammer knees and tickle toes, and then conclude that you are oversexed. There's GU ophthalmology and neurosurgery, you see, all specialists as gentle as a lamb. Their patients all are one of three. They just can't see, they just can't pee, or else they simply just don't give a damn. Now surgery's the place for me. It offers opportunity for men who use their hands and not their head. An extrovert who cuts and sews, we talk and egotism flows, and what we charge is better left unsaid. The dermatologist has it made, they put the others in the shade. They treat what itches and also what burns. They never cure, they never kill, and they refer the things at will, and all their patients blissfully return. Now after all is said and done, each specialty is really fun if you can pay the rent, collect the fee. But there is one thing we all know, that we must tip our gold halo and never underrate the old GP. There is much you can say about medicine today. We've made great strides in drugs and surgery. But there's still one disease that we can't treat with ease. To say you can is perjury. Hemorrhoids often look of concern. Hemorrhoids, hemorrhoids. If you think your life is void, you should have a hemorrhoid, a hemorrhoid. We use creams and oils and such, but they just don't help us much. And cis baths give relief for just a while. So we switched to Metacone and a shot of Yellowstone, but still can't sit and still can't smile. Hemorrhoids often itch and always burn. Hemorrhoids, hemorrhoids. If you that look of concern. Hemorrhoids, hemorrhoids. If you think your life is void, you should have a hemorrhoid, a hemorrhoid. Now a man ain't no good, and he can't act like he should, if his seat of learning is so burning hot. If he's cautious when he walks and frowning when he talks, then you can bet here's what he's got. Hemorrhoids often itch and always burn. Hemorrhoids, hemorrhoids. If you that look of concern. Hemorrhoids, hemorrhoids. If you think your life is void, you should have a hemorrhoid, a hemorrhoid. You should have a hemorrhoid, a hemorrhoid. Remember the days when we were students. Remember yes, remember the days when we were only medical students. Those were the good old days. Those were the days when your wife brought home the money and thought twice before she spent it. Those days are gone forever. Those were the good old days. Remember what a thrill it was to enter the doors of medical school. Remember how they interviewed you on the first day for admission, and how they asked you why you had chosen the honored profession of medicine. And remember how surprised they were when you answered, money. Those were the days. And we worked hard, didn't we? Biochemistry, histology. And remember how, after spending a morning in the anatomy lab, it was never hard to get a seat on a crowded bus. Yes, those were the good old days. Well, it was to enter clinical medicine. Remember how you asked him to say Methodist Episcopal? And remember how he replied, hell no, I'm a Presbyterian. And how proud you were on the first pathology exam to be able to look through a microscope at a mere slide and make the diagnosis, cancer mild. Remember how interesting psychiatry was? And how we used to think that couches were used for other things? Oh, a little knowledge is a wonderful thing. And remember how 3 fingers used to mean how much bourbon you wanted, and then you took OB. Yes, those were the days. We worked hard and we finally made it. Graduation day. Oh, remember how proud your parents were? But your friends all said, well, he isn't a doctor yet. He's just an intern. But we knew, didn't we? We knew. What we didn't know was how hard we would have to work as an intern. And we didn't know that we would be making the same mistakes that others had made before us. Remember how you hooked the oxygen instead of the suction to the Miller Abbott tube? Boom! They made me repaper the room. Oh, and remember the thrill of seeing the surgical consultant and presenting a patient to him. And remember how you asked him for his diagnosis, and he said, I don't know, let's operate and find out. Weren't those the good old days? And you kept on working and you became chief resident. What a thrill. Think of those days. Plenty of patience, room, board, laundry, cigarette money, no office expenses, no mortgages, no income tax. Brother, those were the days. Remember the good old days. Everything's up to date in Old Green County. We hope we've given you a little fun. When you work, you ought to work. When you play, you ought to play. You'll feel better when the day is done. Everything makes us proud of Old Green County. It's wonderful to practice medicine. With a group of men who know you, you can trust them one and all. With a group of men who show you that they're friends each one and all. So wherever you are, whatever you do, be proud and stand up tall. From Sewell to Swartz to Hogaboom Hall. The doctors here are really on the ball.